What goes on, guys? We're back here again with another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Excalibur X-Men 3-pack of Marvel's Meggan, Captain Britain, and Shadowcat. Now, I've always wanted to make it Meggan. I would have preferred Namorita first. I know they're very similar characters. I would have preferred Namorita first to go with my new Warriors, but I'll take Meggan too. And this, I don't really care about the Shadowcat, to be completely honest. I had the original Kitty Pryde with like the yellow X. I don't know exactly what suit that is, but I was able to sell her, and the price of her paid for this, which is pretty awesome. So the price of one figure that I got for 20 bucks paid for 3 brand new figures. I'll take that any day of the week. But this Captain Britain is what sold me on this 3-pack. And I'll explain why in a little bit. But he is awesome, because I had the old one of him too, and I sold him and had a little bit of extra money from that too. But yeah, this 3-pack looks awesome. Taking a look at the packaging here, it reminds me of the Love Triangle 3-pack with the Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey, which I did buy that too. That's where I got those 3 figures from for my personal collection. I really like those figures. So seeing this packaging again is really awesome. As you can see, you get all the figures in there, the hands, Lockheed, Excalibur, which looks awesome. On the side, you get some like the trading card artwork of which I think Ryan Ting really likes. Is it Ryan? It might be. I forget the other one's name. Ryan. But and then on the side, you get Captain Britain, Meggan. I like these trading cards. You get better pictures. Yeah, they're the same ones. So you get better images of them on the back. There's some stats if you guys like care about that kind of shit. I mean, I don't really care, to be completely honest, but I think the art's cool, so I can appreciate that. The art looks cool on all these. That's a completely different suit than the one that we get here, which I don't like that suit for him. I would have skipped it if that's what it is. I like this suit a lot better, so I'm totally okay with that. On the bottom, you get a barcode. This is a Hasbropulse exclusive, so you're not going to be able to find this in your Walmarts or your Targets or anything like that. Same artwork on the side. Spot varnished X at the top. So yeah, this is awesome, and I'm really excited to open these guys up because that Captain Britain looks sick as shit. But without further ado, let's go ahead and do just that. So, taking these guys out of the package, I gotta say, 1 out of the 3 of them is a lot of fun, but the other 2 are pretty Unfortunately, the female figures are pretty weak, but these are just the standard female bucks that don't really move a lot and need to be retired. But honestly, I think they're in the process of retiring them. Is their arm backwards? Yeah, her arm was backwards. But they're in the process of retiring them, but I just wish that they would have taken their time with certain figures and, you know, really brought that pinless tech and better articulation in the waist and the abs and double arms and waited for other figures. But so be it. Let's go ahead and I'll do least favorite to favorite. So starting with Meggan, which is unfortunate because, you know, she's a new character. She's never had a figure before, and I've wanted her for a little bit now, but she's just not a lot of fun to play around with. While the face sculpt, I think, actually does look really, really nice. I think that looks very pretty. You get to see her pointed ears there. Again, I would have preferred to name Marita, but, you know, they'll take this for right now. You get to see her beautiful hair that is sculpted, but that is partially the problem. It is very stiff, so as you could imagine, there's not much you can do in the way of articulation with the hair. Going in for the paint, it's relatively clean. The skin tone is a little caked on, a little bit messed up on the shoulder there, a little bit something on her right boobie, and there's like some black paint smeared there. Overall, it's pretty clean. The M on her waist looks pretty clean. Other than that, it's okay. They did paint her butt, but honestly, her butt cheek kind of did get a little scuffed up. I think this is the Moonstone? Danny Moonstone? I don't really remember what body this is. They did do a black line on the edge of each glove, and that goes the same for the fist hands, and that actually turned out really clean. That's pretty cool. They did it for the patas, the feet too. A little bit of Shartimus Prime came out there, but they did do that for the feet as well. She's got like chubby feet, but you know, what are you going to do? But I do like the black lining there. She does have peg holes there, but with that heavy hair, you can imagine she's a little hard to stand. She'll do it, as you can see, but she is a little hard to stand. I think she looks okay. I like the head sculpt a lot, but the hair, I don't know. From certain angles, it kind of looks flat. So I'm not really sure if they could have done that a little bit better, but I'm just going to run through articulation on each of these. But first, I guess, for accessories, all she comes with is her fists. I don't really know what she could have came with. Her power set doesn't really adequate for a lot of cool accessories, so to speak, unless they went really big, which Marvel Legends is not known for most of the time unless they charge premium prices. So going for articulation, the head will look up, not at all, down a little bit. You can get it to rotate around, and you do get a good amount of pivot in there. So it's not terrible. It just, you can barely move up. The shoulders will move upwards that far. She does have skin tone pegs, which is a little weird. Could be offsetting, but moves up that much, down, rotate 360, single jointed elbow that does swivel, and then a wrist swivel and hinge, and she's got a green hinge on there. The waist will only go about that far, pivoting. It does only go about that far, so you can't get a full rotation on that. I'm not going to push it. And then she'll only crunch forward that far, and she won't crunch back at all because of the hair. The hips move out only that far. She'll kick forward pretty much all the way, back a little bit, rotate 360 at the thigh. You do get double jointed knees, and then the ankles move down, up. You're just gonna get it over that little hump, and then pivot. So, I don't know. It's just basic, and I really don't like this body mold overall. It's just kind of hard to work with and doesn't really add, or what do you call it? Leave itself for a lot of cool poses. So pretty mediocre overall, and honestly I think could have been done a little bit better, but not terrible. Moving into Kitty here, I think the head sculpt looks okay. I don't think the hair is accurate at all. I put the box away already, but I think the hair should be more poofy for this version of her. I mean, it looks good. Just like I said, I don't think the hair is quite accurate. It does look good for what it is, just not really accurate for her. I like the face. I think it's very pretty. I like the little smile on there. The eyes are painted very nice. I actually like this a lot. The mask is sculpted on, I believe, which is pretty cool. The arms are also not accurate. These should be like a lot puffier, I believe. Like they should be bigger, kind of like drapey. I almost wish, but I understand that can be kind of hard for articulation with hard plastic. I kind of wish they did a little bit of soft goods, kind of like Storm, but I don't know if they could have done that. The strap is okay, just kind of wiggles around, but you can get it to rotate around, so you can get it on either side depending on what kind of picture you're trying to take. The blue looks good. This is my preferred look for Shadowcat, so you know I am happy to have that. And then the boots are just molded, nothing really sculpted. So it's really, really basic, but this body mold is easier to work with than the Moonstone body mold. So, you know, whatever. Really basic, not a lot of paint to talk about. In fact, other than the face, I don't think there's any paint at all. Everything is just molded in the color, and there's no like wash or anything like that or paint detail. So nothing much really to speak of. As for accessories for her, you just get a pair of fists, which, you know, I do like fists for my action figures. And, of course, you get her little companion, Lockheed, which he does have painted yellow eyes. It's a little bit harder to get him on here than the last one. You gotta put his wing behind her hair, not under it, and then wrap his tail around, and he'll stay. But I think the other one worked a little bit better. It was really easy to get it on there, but he stays, and I think she looks good with him on there, so not bad at all. As for articulation for her, really, really quick. No up, a little bit of down, rotate 360. Shoulders move upwards that far, which is really good. Rotate 360. Single jointed elbow that rotates, but mine's a little stiff, so you might want to be careful with that. And then swivel and hinge on all the hands. The diaphragm joint is only going to pivot that far, side to side. This one rotates 360 freely, and it only crunches back and forth that much, so barely anything at all. The hips move outwards that far. They will go in all the way. She'll kick forward thus far and back not at all. Rotate at the thigh, so you get a thigh cut. Double jointed knees that go up that far. You do get a boot rotation, which I like because it doesn't really mess up the sculpt at all. And then the ankles are going to go down all the way. They're going to go up all the way, and you do get a pivot. So articulation's fine. Nothing great. I think the diaphragm joint could be a lot better, and pinless would be nice on a character like this. But, you know, overall, I guess it's what it's supposed to be and will work for a Kitty Pryde Shadowcat figure on your shelf. Now, as for my man, Brian Braddock here, he's not perfect. Pinless, especially for this kind of shit, would be great, but he is still a badass figure. Taking a look at that head sculpt, the paint is super crisp and clean on there. I'm sure Dan Who, he's probably very happy with this. I gotta watch his review on this. I think it'll be quite funny. But I love the Union Jack. It is painted very nice. Nothing on the back, but that is accurate. They did do this part, so Hasbro's getting good with painting the back of their figures. I like in the joints on the arms that the white line goes through the joint. That's awesome. They line that up really nice. So the fact that it painted all the way in there is really nice. The paint does get messed up when you use the articulation, but that's fine. I mean, that's understandable. The white gloves look good. Again, I really like how it goes through. It doesn't on the back, but that's understandable. I'm not upset by that at all. He would have really benefited from pinless tech. I'm just saying, it would have been really nice to not have the big giant red pegs on the inside, or at least paint the pegs, and then the lower body really doesn't have much to speak of. I don't know what body mold this is. I don't know. The upper torso seems new, but the rest seems like Hyperion. I mean, I'm not sure. That's what the old, like the first release of Captain Britain was, but I'm not really sure. And then down the legs look good. I do like these knee pads. I think they're pretty cool. They're newly sculpted, I believe, because the other one did not have that. And then you get the big boots. So I think it is mostly Hyperion, but I think the upper torso is new. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure. And then for accessories, he comes with the most. So he is going to come with a pair of fist hands, which is perfect for Brian. You know, he likes punching shit, so that's pretty awesome. Nice, big, meaty hands. He does come with the sword Excalibur, which looks awesome. I don't really care about him using the sword, to be completely honest. I know it's called Excalibur, but, you know, I don't really care about that. It is a little bit loose in his hand. I do have to admit that. It's a little bit loose. Like, it'll wiggle around, so. And they're not vertical hinges, so that's a little annoying, but, I mean, it looks cool in his hand. I actually might give this to my custom Conan the Barbarian figure, which, if you haven't checked out that video, check that out on my channel. But, you know, that looks pretty cool in his hand. I think the paint is a little dull. A nice bright silver would have been a little bit better, but the sculpt work on that is pretty awesome, and it does look good for him holding it. And then finally, he does come, which personally is my favorite accessory. He comes with an alternate head, so you pop that off and pop this bad boy on there without breaking anything, because recently I broke my Invincible figure doing this, but bam, you get the bearded head, and damn, that looks awesome. The paint is just as clean as the other one. Actually, maybe even a little bit cleaner. And you get a nice molded beard in there, which looks awesome. And I'm going to be using them like that. It's a little bit tight. As you can kind of hear, it's a little squeaky. But, I mean, with a little bit of movement, it gets around. But, damn, that looks good. I like that a lot. So this is probably going to be my look for him, minus the sword. But I like the beard a lot. Very, like, British, so to speak. You know, I'm American, so all my UK watchers out there, go ahead and flame me in the comments for calling that a British beard, but I like that a lot. That looks super badass. I don't really feel like there's much that I need to compare these guys to. I mean, they're pretty standard for Marvel Legends, so I'm just going to hop into final thoughts. If you really care, here they are next to Zombie Cap, so Brian's a little bit taller, but the girls are a little bit shorter. You know, nothing crazy there. So that leaves me with the age-old question at this point. And what are you thinking of these figures? And overall, I'm happy with the set, and it's worth the money. I mean, it comes to about 22 per figure, maybe 25 per figure with shipping, but it is exclusive, and if it sells out, it's done. So I can understand that. I think it looks okay. I think for the price point, it's okay. More accessories would have been nice, you know, but overall, I think what they did was more than fair. So obviously I did my ranking already. It's 1, 2, 3. But overall, if I was to give this pack a rating, I would probably give it a 6. Brian's awesome, but the females are kind of lackluster. So that's my thoughts. And as Brad the DC Universe Geek would say, that's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it. But, you know, you can always let me know what you guys think in the comments. So without further ado, I believe that's all I have for today. So do yourself and me a favor and like, comment, subscribe on this video and to the channel. At 500 subscribers, I would like to do a live stream with you guys. I'd love to talk to you guys and see what your opinions are on the channel and figures and just talk toys. That's what we like to do around here, people. But that's all I have for today. Check me out on Instagram. I took a bunch of pictures of these guys. So that's all I got. So as always, you coppin'? Let me know. See you guys in the next one. Peace.